Right. Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, greetings, and a warm welcome to everyone. Welcome to our webinar session. And my name is Paul Magahis, and I'm with Bridge Security. And today I will be discussing the significance of open source in the realm of cybersecurity. And I'll be glad to be with you guys, imparting my personal experience in the world of open source, which plays a critical role in safeguarding our digital assets and maintaining the trust of individuals and organizations. And open source software has significantly indeed influenced the field of cybersecurity, offering various benefits and opportunities. So in this presentation, we will explore the impact of open source in cybersecurity, examining its advantages, examples of some open source security tools, open source intelligence, collaboration, and some best practices. So please do allow me to provide just a quick and brief introduction of myself. So I've been actively involved in the open source community for quite a while now. So with a background as a former instructor of Red Hat and SUSE, I specialize in teaching Linux administration and security. And furthermore, I have held positions as technical manager in both open source and offensive cybersecurity domains. Okay, so yeah, so let's start with a very basic question of what is open source. Okay, so which refers to a software that is freely available to use, modify, and distribute. So this means that anyone can literally access the source code and make changes to it. So which allows for greater collaboration and innovation within the community. Now, open source movement gained traction in the business world as well. And companies, big companies such as Google, Facebook, and Amazon embraced open source software, recognizing its benefits in terms of cost savings, innovation, and flexibility. So with the rise of many platforms out there, like GitHub, okay, which further accelerated collaboration among developers and facilitated the sharing and improvement of open source, of many open source projects. Today, open source has become a fundamental part of the software ecosystem. So it has transformed many industries, fostered technological advancements, and empowered individuals and organizations to leverage and contribute a vast array of literally freely available software solutions. Now, see, the open source philosophy of transparency, collaboration, and community-driven development continues to shape the future of software innovation. So in terms of cybersecurity, open source software can provide increased transparency and accountability, as well as to foster a culture of sharing and collaboration among developers. Now, as we continue, now as cyber security continue to grow with the expansion of computer networks and internet, open source principles found their way into the world or into the realm of cybersecurity. Now, open source has revolutionized the world of technology in recent years, and its impact on cybersecurity is, we can say, really undeniable. So in the early days of computing, security concerns were not as important or not as prevalent as they are today. So however, with the rise of interconnected systems and the increasing reliance on digital technologies, the need for robust cybersecurity measures became apparent. Okay, and honestly, actually, proprietary softwares dominated the market, and that's a real thing for us. With limited transparency and limited access to its source code for security auditing. So I remember during the late 90s and early 2000, where I started my journey in the world of open source, the open source movement gained momentum, advocating for the benefits of open collaboration, transparency, and community-driven development. So these principles resonated in the cybersecurity domain as the ability to scrutinize and validate security mechanisms became paramount, important, or necessary. So open source software allowed us, security professionals like you guys, to review the code, the source code, identify vulnerabilities, and contribute improvements. So this led to the emergence of some notable open source security projects out there that you might probably using every day and you don't know it. Okay, so one example is that, for example, one notable security open source security project is the OpenSSL, which provides a widely used SSL TLS encryption protocols, which everyone uses every time we browse the internet. Okay, other one is the OpenSSH, which is a secure communication tool for remote administration. Yeah. Now, furthermore, open source methodologies and philosophies began to shape the way security teams approach cybersecurity. So the sharing, which is the spirit of open source, which is sharing. The sharing, for example, of threat intelligence, best practices, and security frameworks within open source communities help raise awareness and foster collaboration in addressing emerging security challenges. Now, open source projects encourage the sharing of threat intelligence. So this allows security professionals to collaborate and stay informed about the latest threats and attack techniques. So this collective knowledge helps in developing proactive defense strategies. Open source communities, which is one integral part of open source, are known for their agility and responsiveness. So when new vulnerability or attack vector is discovered, the open source community can quickly develop and release patches or security updates. So these minimize the time window for potential exploits. Also, open source projects foster innovation by providing a avenue or platform for developers and researchers to experiment, create, and improve security tools. So this continuous evolution helps in keeping pace with the ever-changing threat landscape. So we can say that today, open source and cybersecurity is deeply interconnected, or somehow they are deeply intertwined. Okay, so many organizations and security professionals rely on open source solutions, frameworks, and libraries to build secure systems, detect vulnerabilities, and respond to cyber threats effectively. So the continuous evolution of open source projects, especially security projects, coupled with the collective knowledge and efforts of the community remains a driving force in the fight against cyber threats and the advancement of cybersecurity practices. Now, in terms of benefits of open source in cybersecurity, open source software is typically free to use, okay? Reducing the financial burden on many organizations and enabling them to allocate those resources to other critical areas. Open source software is indeed known for being free, okay? Being freely available and providing open access to its source code. But um, however, it is important to note that free in the context of open source refers to freedom and not specifically or not necessarily to the absence of cost. That is according to Richard Stallman, who is the founder of Free Software Foundation and the man behind the GNU project. So while many open source projects are distributed freely, there are instances where open source software is being sold. Okay, so that is because of the design of the licensing under the GNU project. If you heard about the GPL license or general public license, and this license has different versions. So it is important to remember that while open source software can be freely accessed, modified, and distributed, there can still be costs. There can still be costs could be associated. It could be associated with something like a commercial support, okay, or value-added services, or advanced features, or specific use cases, such as for integration, for example. So, but the ability to freely access the source code and contribute to the project's development remains a key principle of open source software, regardless of any associated costs. Now, as I mentioned earlier, one of the major benefits I personally experienced when it comes to leveraging open source in cybersecurity is the enhanced transparency it provides. So with open source software, the source code is freely accessible, enabling developers to thoroughly review the code for any potential issues. Could be for operational issues or could be for security issues. Okay, and community can able to address them promptly. So this not only results in more secure software, but also ensures a quicker response to the emerging threats. Okay, so as we have the ability to make necessary improvements in a timely manner, but moreover, the collaborative nature of open source foster a sense of teamwork among developers. Okay, so by sharing ideas, insights, and solutions within the open source community, we can we can tap into the what we call a vast pool of knowledge and experience, leading to more innovative cybersecurity solutions and accelerated the development timelines. So the power of collaboration in the open source realm has been instrumental in driving advancements in the field. Another advantage of open source in cybersecurity is its inherent flexibility and customizability. So to to other software, especially proprietary softwares, which often comes with limitations, open source softwares allows allows organizations to tailor their security measures precisely to their unique requirements. So this level of customization grants us the ability to implement robust and tailored security solutions, ensuring a higher level of protection for our systems and assets. So these factors not only contribute to not only contribute to more secure software and faster response times to threats, but also empower us, okay, to drive innovation and adoption and adapt to our security measures to the ever evolving landscape of cyber threats. Now, so I would like guys to take a pause in this slide. Okay, so this is just to give you guys a moment, an opportunity to share your thoughts. Okay, so I would like to get some of your insights. I have this question, so let me just share this. Okay, so for those who wants to participate, you can just go to slido.com, use this code, or just simply scan this QR code, and I'll be sharing a poll question. Okay, so this is just a very simple question. It is not a quiz. I just have this question about various sources or platforms where open source technologies can be accessed. So I'm just interested about your thoughts or insights on where do you think we can find open source technology. Again, so just to get your thoughts, it is not a quiz. Okay, so this will just take just a couple of probably seconds or for a minute. Okay, no more. Okay, it seems everyone is okay. I see web infrastructure there. 86% is all of the above. Okay, so just send me your thoughts, guys. Okay, so the bottom is supercomputing. No mobile devices, enterprise, data centers, supercomputing. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so if this is all, okay, so that's fine. All right, good, guys. Now, at least I know that most of you guys are really aware and familiar with the open source technologies. Okay, and yeah, most of you guys answered all of the above. Yeah, that's right. Um, yeah. So we can, yes, indeed, we can see open source in all of this. Okay, so we can, uh, so literally open source is almost everywhere. So it is in web infrastructure. Okay, it is because large part of the web infrastructure uses open source. Specifically, there is a software, a web service software, open source software called Apache. And Apache and Nginx is one or two of the most popular web services that most everyone uses. And though there is no one answered mobile devices, but if you are using an Android phone, then it is an open source technology. Okay, so we can find Linux and some open source softwares in all of these enterprise data centers and supercomputing. So yeah, so that is all of the above. Okay, and honestly, we can even find open source even in outer space, believe it or not. Okay, so because our satellites and some rockets, which is powered by developed by NASA, for example, they leverage the power of open source. All right. Okay, so let me just switch back to my previous slide. Okay, so just to continue, now open source in terms of communities. So again, like I mentioned, all communities is a integral part of open source. Okay, so because this is where everyone collaborates. Okay, so open source security communities, um, like such as, for example, there is a community for WhatsApp, which is an open web application security project, and there is also a community for Apache security project, which play a crucial role in the world of cybersecurity. So these communities brings together all the experts, enthusiasts from around the world to collaborate in securing those softwares and promoting secure coding practices. So one of the notable aspects of open source projects is the implementation of bug bounty programs, right? So these programs incentivize, okay? These programs incentivize security researchers to actively search for vulnerability in software by offering rewards for identifying and responsibly disclosing them. Okay, so this crowdsourced approach harness the collective power of the security community, helping to identify and address security issues effectively. So by leveraging the knowledge and skills of a diverse range of security experts, programmers, researchers, open source projects can strengthen their software's security and also provide a safer solutions for everyone. Moreover, open source projects foster a culture of knowledge sharing, like I mentioned. So they provide various platforms such as forums, mailing lists, conferences, and online communities where security professionals can engage in discussion, exchanging ideas, address challenges, and share solutions. So these avenues serves as an invaluable resource for staying up to date to the latest security practices. So learning from other experiences and gaining insights into emerging threats. So the open and collaborative nature of these communities promotes continuous learning, continuous growth, and improvement in the field of cybersecurity. So we can say that open source communities and projects contribute significantly to the advancement of cybersecurity through bug bounty programs. They harness the expertise of security researchers to identify vulnerabilities and enhance security. Additionally, the knowledge sharing platforms they provide to foster a collaborative environment that enables us professionals to stay informed and exchange ideas and collectively work towards a building to a more secure digital landscape. Okay, so in addition or furthermore to the importance of open source in cybersecurity, the open source intelligence, okay, which refers to the gathering or and analysis of information from publicly available sources such as social media, websites, forums, and so on, also plays a vital role in cybersecurity by providing a valuable insight into potential threats or vulnerabilities and attackers. So it basically aids us in proactive threat hunting, okay, incident response, and risk management. Okay. Now, in terms of earlier, I mentioned some encryption technologies such as SSL and SSH, such as those. So, other open source encryption tools, like there is also what we call OpenPGP and OpenSSL again are extensively used to secure data during the transmission. So it guarantees the confidentiality and integrity of sensitive information over the networks. So privacy-focused open source projects like Tor, okay, the Onion Ring, or the Onion router, and the Signal, and a Signal chat application offer tools for anonymous browsing and secure messaging, enabling users to safeguard their digital communications and prioritize privacy. So open source security tools also adhere to industry best practices and standards, making it easier for organizations to comply with regulations or for compliance auditing, such as for BCIDSS or GDPR. So the transparency of open source software enables auditors and security professionals to independently verify the code's integrity and security, which is a vital aspect for organizations with stringent compliance requirements. So open source also in terms of incident response, okay? So open source incident response frameworks, such as there is a framework called the Hive and the MISP, which enables organizations to manage and investigate security incidents collaboratively. So they provide structured approach for incident response. Additionally, open source forensic tools like autopsy and volatility helps investigators analyze digital evidence and recover crucial information after what? After security incidents. And in terms of DevOps and DevSecOps, open source is often used to seamlessly integrate it with what they're called pipelines or CI/CD pipelines, allowing for automated security testing and vulnerability scanning throughout the software development life cycle or SDLC. So by adapting on the approach, what they call shift left approach, which incorporates security considerations and an early stage of the development, which effectively addresses vulnerabilities proactively and reducing the likelihood of issues in later deployment. Now, open source security tools are also often used in educational settings, providing students and aspiring security professionals with hands-on experience in cybersecurity. So this exposure to open source software helps cultivate practical skills and foster a deeper understanding of security concepts. So many security certifications out there and training programs incorporate open source tools in their curriculum, emphasizing the significance and the importance of these tools in the real world scenarios. Okay, so in terms of um, security in the cloud, okay? Now, the history of cloud and open source is also deeply intertwined or interconnected, as open source software has played a significant role in the development and adoption of cloud computing. And whether we like it or not, or believe it or not, cloud would not be possible without open source. In the early 2000s, as the demand for scalable and cost-effective computing resources grew, cloud computing started gaining momentum. Okay, companies like Amazon and Google emerged as pioneers, offering cloud infrastructure and services to businesses and individuals. Open source technology played a crucial role in the growth of the cloud. Okay, so projects, actually there are also open source projects such as OpenStack, which is launched in 2010, provided an open source framework for building a private and public clouds. OpenStack modular architecture allowed organizations to create and customize a flexible cloud environment. Okay. Yeah, so also cloud computing continued to evolve. Open source technologies became increasingly prevalent. Platforms, aside from OpenStack, there is also what we call Kubernetes, which is an open source container orchestration system developed by Google, gained popularity for managing containerized applications in the cloud. Kubernetes provided a standard and scalable solution, enabling efficient deployment and management of applications across various cloud environments. So we can say that today the cloud and open source continue to advance hand in hand. Open source software and tools are widely used in cloud environments, empowering organizations to leverage the benefits of cloud computing while maintaining the flexibility and avoiding vendor lock-in. So the relationship between the two has played a significant role in shaping the the modern computing landscape and driving technological advancements. Now, in terms of government, okay, governments across the globe recognize the importance of open source software in their cybersecurity efforts. Okay? Open source software provide numerous advantages for governments and defense organizations, fostering collaboration and enhancing security capabilities. Actually, the, the US NSA, okay, one notable example is the NSA. Okay, so they actively contributed to the open source community. The release of projects like Security Enhanced Linux or SE Linux by the NSA has significantly impacted system security. So SE Linux provides a robust security framework that enforces mandatory access controls, helping to protect critical systems from unauthorized access and potential exploits. So by, by embracing open source software, governments can also realize the cost savings. So open source solutions eliminate the need for expensive licensing, enabling agencies to allocate their budget to other critical areas. Additionally, open source software promotes independence from specific vendors, so reducing dependency on proprietary solutions and granting governments greater control over their cybersecurity initiatives. Yeah, so aside from the tools I mentioned earlier, so there are numerous open source security tools out there that are widely used in the cybersecurity community. Okay, so this is just a few, such as the Snort, which is an open source IDS, intrusion detection system. They have also what they call OpenVAS, which is a fork of Nessus, which is a vulnerability scanning tool that identifies weaknesses in our systems. There is also what they call OWASP ZAP, or a Z attack proxy, which is also a widely used open source security testing tool for finding vulnerabilities in web applications. And there is also an OSEC, which is an host-based intrusion detection. But again, so this is just a few, and we can say that there are still tons of open source security tools out there that they can use, depends on their requirement. And some of these tools, actually many organizations even use these tools as part of their commercial products. Okay, now, so while there are many benefits of using open source in cybersecurity, there are also potential risks that must be considered. So one such risk is the possibility of vulnerabilities in the software, because again, the code is open. Hackers may also be able to identify weaknesses and exploit them. So another thing is integrating multiple open source tools, and managing dependencies can be also complex. So another risk also is the lack of support. Okay, in some, okay, not all, but in some open source projects, because it is developed by a community rather than a single company, there might not be as much dedicated support available for the users. So finally, there is also a potential legal issues surrounding about open source in terms of licensing concerns. Now, as for the best practices to mitigate such risk in using open source software, it is crucial to follow several best practices. So this includes conducting source codes, reviews, security audit, staying up to date with the latest security patches and updates, and also engaging with the open source community contributing to projects and participating in security discussions. So it is essential to carefully review licensing agreements to ensure compliance with legal requirements when using any open source software. And of course, lastly, organizations should consider implementing VAPT, or vulnerability assessment penetration testing, to identify any weaknesses in their security. Okay, so by following these practices, so the risk associated with using open source software can be minimized. Okay, yeah. Now, in today's rapidly evolving technology landscape, of course, staying up to date to potential security threats is crucial for many organizations. We aim to avoid investing our time in manual or conventional or what they call traditional way of methods in safeguarding our assets. Analysts and experts are now suggesting the adoption of new technology that holds great promise in bolstering cybersecurity defenses. Alongside this recommendation, the utilization of automated security tool or automated pen testing tool or red teaming techniques has emerged, okay, as a powerful approach to fortify security measures. Okay, so yeah. Now, so in today's dynamic cybersecurity landscape, relying solely on traditional methods of VAPT can leave organizations exposed to significant risks. So traditional VAPT methods suffer from various drawbacks that hamper their effectiveness in protecting assets, mitigating risk. So firstly, these methods tend to be labor intensive, demanding the significant time and resources from cybersecurity teams. Also, conducting VAPT requires a great experience or skill sets for security testers, and inexperienced individuals attempting to execute such testing can be inadvertently introduced additional risks or fail to identify critical vulnerabilities. So the danger lies in the potential misconfigurations or unintended consequences, potentially leading to security breaches or system disruptions. Also, the cost. Okay, the cost in traditional VAPT methods can be also substantial. Long man hours and the utilization of multiple tools to higher expenses, making it an expensive endeavor for organizations. Now, to overcome the limitations of traditional VAPT methods, organizations are encouraged to embrace a modern approach that offers a great efficiency, effectiveness, and enhanced security. Okay, so by adapting to modern techniques, organizations can tap into the power of real-time vulnerability scanning, continuous monitoring, and proactive threat intelligence. So these proactive measures helps us identify vulnerability promptly, enabling rapid remediation, okay, and reducing the risk of exploitation. Furthermore, modern approaches also provide more frequent and agile testing, so closing the risk window and allowing a uh, for a swift response to emerging threats. Okay, yeah. So in the quest for robust security measures, organizations are increasingly turning to automated pen tests, okay, to assess and fortify their defenses. However, selecting the right platform is critical, okay, to ensure the accuracy and comprehensiveness of the security assessments. Okay, so automation, we know that automation streamlines the testing processes, okay, enabling efficient and thorough assessments. So also the ability to schedule assessment is also a vital criteria when selecting an automated pen testing platform. Also, an effective automated pen test platform should incorporate effective validation mechanisms. Okay, so validation features ensures the accuracy and reliability of the assessment results by cross-referencing finding from multiple sources. So this process helps us filter false positives, reducing the chances of unnecessary remediation efforts. And by validating the assessment results, organizations can confidently prioritize and address genuine or legit vulnerabilities, enhancing overall security of their systems. And and yeah, so also when selecting an automated pen test platform, it is also crucial to ensure that it offers a complete range of testing capabilities. This includes coverage of various attack vectors, such as testing a web application, network infrastructure, APIs, cloud environments. By choosing the right platform that provides comprehensive testing, organizations can obtain a holistic view of their security landscape. Now, in managing or in the ever-evolving landscape of cyber threats, managing cybersecurity risks is important for most organizations to protect their sensitive data and maintain operational resilience. So to address these challenges, the use of or the integration of AI-powered technologies emerges as a powerful solution. So we at Ridge Security, we have a solution, an offensive security solution, which is what we call RidgeBot, an AI-powered security validation platform, which also built around open source components, offers organizations advanced capabilities in managing their cybersecurity risk exposure. So by conducting a comprehensive risk assessments, detecting um, risk assessment. So these ensure also to detect threats in a timely manner. So automating vulnerability management, ensuring continuous compliance, monitoring, and providing intelligent risk mitigation strategies, which both empowers organizations to strengthen their security posture. So leveraging AI-powered technology, which both assists in proactive risk management, enhancing overall cybersecurity defenses. Okay, so RiskBot is an advanced platform powered by automation and cutting-edge technology, which has revolutionized the ethical hacking process. So RiskBot sets itself apart by automating the entire ethical hacking process, eliminating the reliance, okay, of human testers. And this leveraging the advanced algorithms and machine learning, RiskBot performs assessments and vulnerability scans with remarkable speed, accomplishing tasks up to what we call it 100 times faster than a human tester. Okay, so with RiskBot, the ease of operation is paramount. Okay, so it is designed with a user-friendly interface for intuitive controls, making it accessible to both skilled professionals or even for a beginner technical users. Okay. One which was strengths lies also the ability to provide extensive coverage across multiple layers of organizational infrastructure. and it is proven, it is backed by proven results. So the platform has rigorously tested and validated, showcasing its ability to successfully identify vulnerabilities and simulate the real-world attacks. And RageBot also provides a real-time reporting, so delivering instant insights and actionable items or actionable recommendations. So by adopting RageBot, organizations can achieve greater efficiency, resilience, and of course, peace of mind in the face of ever-evolving cyber challenges. Yeah. So again, since RageBot is an AI-powered platform, it is 100% automated. Okay, so it is an AI platform that revolutionized the offensive cybersecurity realm. So with its smart decision engine, attack surface discovery, vulnerability scanning, attack launching capabilities, and lateral movement, ReachBot empowers organizations to proactively defend against threats. So by leveraging the Reach Brain, organization can enhance security intelligence, identify vulnerabilities, simulate attacks, and validate risk. So ReachBot offers a robust solution to fortify defenses in the dynamic digital landscape. Yeah. Okay. So I'll be pausing here again. So I have a last I believe 2 to 3 slides, but prior finishing those slides, let me just get your thoughts again, guys. Now, so let me just switch again to our question. So again, just to get your thoughts, this is not a quiz, on how confident are you in the security of open source software compared to other software, especially to the proprietary or closed source software. Yeah. Again, so just to get your thoughts, guys. Okay. Okay, so I think after this, I'm going to wrap up. So I would like, I don't like um, to probably waste your time. Okay, good. So that's good to know. Somewhat you are confident in open source technology. Okay. All right. Okay, so thank you guys for that answer. Okay, so just to wrap it up, yeah. Okay, so just to wrap it up, so these are just some benefits of having a fully automated pen testing on your environment. So it helps your organization reduce workload, and since it is an AI powered, so it's alleviate the power of the problem of the resource shortage, and yeah, having a continuous managing security posture of your organization. And actually, this will be my last slide. Okay, so finally, okay, so in BAPT it offers several benefits out of it. So this is just an overall benefits of BAPT. So it helps us identify security risk And then out of those identified risks, we can protect ourselves. But protection is not enough. We should be able to continuously detect the threats, the evolving threats, and those detections must be handled or respond accordingly. And having a better view with our vulnerabilities, we can effectively plan for recovery. Okay, yeah. So thank you very much, guys. So in conclusion, the impact of open source cyber security cannot be underestimated. Open source software has revolutionized the cybersecurity landscape, offering organizations cost-effective solutions, flexibility, and transparency. So through collaboration, active contribution, and adherence to security protocols, organizations can harness the power of open source to enhance your cybersecurity defenses, protect your sensitive data, and stay resilient. So lastly, by embracing open source in cybersecurity is a testament to strength and to the strength of collaborative efforts and the pursuit of collective security in the digital era. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so so it is past 11 o'clock, guys. Sorry to extend a couple of minutes. So thank you very much, guys, for attending this webinar. Hope to see you again soon in our next more webinar to come. Okay, thank you very much, guys.